Alright, hey guys, welcome back. This is the final episode in this video series, and we're going to be talking about some rubber track myths. There's a lot of misconceptions out there. We've covered some in the other videos, but people just get weird stuff stuck in their heads sometimes, or just don't quite grasp a concept. And one of the things would be people call me up and they'll say, we have the weights of the track along with the dimensions on our website or something, and competitor XYZ, their track weighs 35 pounds more for this exact same size. Your track must have less rubber in it somewhere, your steel links must be less steel, the cabling must be chintzier.
Right.
And is that necessarily the case, or,
Yeah, no, it's not. Basically, what's happening is when somebody's really touting, we have 30% or 30 pounds more rubber or whatever it may be, usually what's happening is my first question is, where's that rubber? Is it in the carcass thickness or is it in the tread depth? And let's just say if it's in the tread depth, I'll still outperform that track, because it's not about how much rubber you have, it's about the quality of the rubber that you're putting in that track and what is your tread life over the life of that track versus the competitor's track. And many competitors will put more rubber on it to get the same life that we're getting. So it's like in the tire industry, you look at a Michelin versus a Goodyear. Mm-hmm. They may have the same tread depth, but that Michelin tire is going to last quite a bit longer than that Goodyear. Then the Goodyear goes to a deeper tread depth. They're having to go to a deeper tread depth to get the same life as the Michelin track. So that is one of the things you have to really be taking a look at, is the quality of rubber. You come down to the cables, you're looking at cable gauge, basically the thickness of that cable. If a manufacturer overuses the gauge, if they go to too heavy of a gauge to try to get more strength out of that track, they're most likely causing more issues than they're solving, because if they go into a heavier gauge, not increasing carcass thickness, not increasing the radius turn, you can actually create vibration issues in the track. So you're better off to go to a lower gauge cable wrapped more times to keep that track free, keep it rolling free, decrease its rolling resistance. The heavier of a gauge cable that we go to, the more rolling resistance that track's going to have. Sure. So it all comes down to the design aspect.
Makes sense. Another phone call we'll get is, where your track's made in China.
Yep.
Just like most others.
Yep.
Made in China must be junk.
Yeah, that's one of the more laughable statements that we've come to know over the last 25, 30 years. We all know rubber tracks first started in Japan. Mm-hmm. And, so ZC Rubber, one of the things that sets us apart from almost all other manufacturers is we've been producing rubber tracks since 1978. Almost all other track companies that are out there now started no earlier than the mid-90s. So for us to have been doing it since 1978 and under license agreement with Japan, it just disproves the entire thing that, China tracks are crap. Yes, there are fly-by-night manufacturers who have jumped in the business, whatever, and they're not making a quality product. But when it comes to the vast majority of quality products, it's coming out of China.
Mm-hmm. Right on. Like the last kind of common question we get is guys calling and, I go to XYZ, the dealership, and I want to buy tracks from them. Mm-hmm. They're OEM quality, they're this or that. What's the difference between aftermarket and OEM? And, if we're perceived as monetarily cheaper, there must be a difference. Is there any really basis to that? Or?
Well, one thing that everybody has to remember is when you say OEM, the only thing that's OEM on that machine is what came on that machine when it was brand new. Anything sold on that machine after that is actually aftermarket. So if it had XYZ on it when it came out of the factory, just because you're buying XYZ after the fact doesn't make it OEM. As ZC Rubber, we are predominantly an OEM manufacturer. But I don't say that when you're buying my track, it's an OEM track. It may be made for the OEM, but I can't tell you this is an OEM track because it wasn't on the machine when it was brand new. But I can tell you the vast majority of tracks that we make are going on machines OEM. And the list is very long. CTL machines, mini excavators, carrier vehicles, and agricultural machines. We're doing OEM business on all of that. So when you're buying from ZC, you're getting an OEM quality track is what we can say.
Sure. Absolutely. Well, I think that wraps up this video. Thanks for all your time with this. And yeah, if there's any more questions, maybe we'll do a big list at some point. We can follow up in the near future or something like that. But yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for tuning in.